everybody? Lord Tremendous here, and I got another battle report here for you. 2,000 point battle, Wars of Chaos versus Wood Elves. This was an excellent game. I got to play against somebody that I met via the channel. I reached out, we were able to schedule a game, and I go over all this again in my list thing, but it was just a really cool meetup, a really cool guy, enjoyed our conversation, and it was a really good game. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see the carnage. Here's my list, and it's the exact same from the previous battle. I wanted to try it out again just to make sure that I was happy with it. There are some tweaks I could probably make, but I wanted to give it a fair shot. So I still have my Chaos Lord. He's still my general, Mark Nurgle, Demonic Mount with a Flail, Demonic Plate Mail, Talisman of the Carrion Crow, and Favor of the Gods. My Sorcerer Lord is still on his Chariot, level 4 Wizard with Demonology, Mark of Chaos Undivided. It's got a Spell Familiar, Tome of the Dark Gods, Favor of the Gods, Ruby Ring of Ruin, and the Biting Blade. Yeah, Lord Tremendous gets the special treatment. What can I tell you? And then finally, I have my Exalted Sorcerer on a Chaos Steed, Mark Zinch, level 2 Wizard with Battle Magic, and the Infernal Puppet. He's really just a puppet master. In fact, that might be his name. For my core, I've got my 5 Chaos Warhounds. I've got a unit of 6 Chaos Knights with full command Lances, Icon of Darkness, Brazen Collar, and a Mark of Khorne. And then a second unit of Chaos Knights, full command Lances, Rampaging Banner, Brazen Collar, and also the Mark of Khorne, because batshit crazy is the way to go. Finally, my special choices, exact same from last game. Dragon Ogre, Shartak, the Great Weapon, Black and Plate, because I like that 2-up armor save, 3-up ward versus Flamin'. And my second Dragon Ogre, Shartak, with the Great Weapon, Heavy Armor, and I can't take the Black and Plate twice. In rare, I've got 2 Gigantic Spawn of Chaos. Both are spawns of Khorne, because I like impact hits and killing blow. So for this game, I obviously go up against Wood Elves, and the screen name of the individual I played is 100% Warhammer. Dude was awesome. Reached out to me via the channel, and we set up our game. I screwed up the first one because I'm terrible with time zones, but he was cool about it. We rescheduled, we got our game in, and I got to be honest, the first hour that we linked up together on Discord, we just chatted, caught up, talked about the channel, Warhammer situations. It was really awesome to meet this individual. It was really awesome to talk with him and just have a genuine conversation for a while. And so after a great conversation, in fact, one of my buddies jumped on the Discord channel and started chatting with us as well. It was great. I hope we get to play against him again. I would love the opportunity. But all friendships lead to war, and so he brought his army onto the table, and we fought. And here's what he brought. He has 744 points in characters, starting with a Glade Lord, who's his general. He's on a Great Stag. He had a Great Weapon, Light Armor Shield, the Armor of Destiny, Ruby Ring of Ruin, a Befuddlement of Mischiefs, and the Resplendence of Luminescence, which is an excellent kit for any Glade Lord. Then he had a level 4 Spellweaver on an Elven Steed. She used Battle Magic and had the Oaken Stab, because if you're going to play Wood Elves and you don't take the Stab, are you really trying? Are you? And then, of course, the level 2 backup singer with an Elven Steed, level 2 wizard with Battle Magic, Lore Familiar, and a Power Scroll. In core, he had 571 points, starting with 8 Glade Riders with Light Armor, Cav Spears. He had a Glade Knight with a Charm Shield and a Musician, and this unit had Hagbane Tips and Reserve Move. He had another unit of 5 Glade Riders with Light Armor, Cav Spears. They had Drilled and Reserve Mood. He had a Standard Bearer, Musician, and the standard was the Banner of the Hunter King. He had 6 Glade Guard with a Lord's Bowman, which I believe is just a unit champion, and Hagbane Tips. And then 2 units of 5 Deepwood Scouts, also with Hagbane Tips. He had 505 points of special, starting with 5 Sisters of the Thorn with full command and Blackbriar Javelins, a second unit of Sisters of the Thorn with full command and Blackbriar Javelins, and then 3 more units of Deepwood Scouts, all with Hagbane Tips. Of course, there was 5 each. In rare, he had 3 Great Eagles. It was a MSU army that was something else. It was really cool to fight against, and dude played it very well. Here are the spells that I got. For my level 2, I got Blue Flame and Arcane Urgency. And for my level 4, Lord Tremendous, I got Blue Flame, Fleshy Abundance, The Summoning, Demonic Familiars, and Demonic Vigor. These are my opponent's spells. His level 2 got Arcane Urgency and Pillar of Flame, and his level 4 got Tree Singing, Fireball, Arcane Urgency, and Curse of Arrow Attraction. And I believe both of his sisters took Pillar of Flame, because, you know, having 6 vortexes on the field is going to be awesome.
Here's deployment, and I mean, he had a huge spread of MSU, except for, of course, that one big unit of Glade Guard or Glade Riders, I'm sorry, with his Glade Lord. So I kind of double stacked my knights over there, figuring one unit champion might get sacrificed and the other knights could do something with him if he came forward. I have a Chaos Spawn on the left flank there with the hopes of just getting into anything that's over there. I wasn't too worried about anything doing anything to him except for maybe lucky shooting or whatnot. The dogs in the middle are because I had nowhere really to put them. There was no reason to resist because if I do get a charge on something, it's either going to flee or stand and shoot, maybe fire and flee. It could combo now. My sorcerer is 24 inches or more away from his sorcerer. My baby sorcerer was, I mean, I guessed where he was going to put his guy, and I was way off. Luckily, he can motor over there and start infernal puppeting him the best I can. The two dragon ogres are right there next to the sorcerer, just to provide a little bit of cover. Be a bigger threat, maybe an easier target for his shooting, so he doesn't shoot at my chariot because I don't trust my saves. And my Chaos Lord on the right flank with the spawn, he's just there to clean up everything he can get a hold of. Same with the spawn. It doesn't matter. They're pretty fast. If I can bounce unit to unit for, 4 or 5 turns, that all's the better. But that was really what I was thinking with deployment. On his side, he's got some scouts on our left, his right flank, with another unit of scouts right behind them. Great Eagle in front. I don't know why, but they were like that. It looks like a unit of his sisters are back there. It'd probably just get pillar off. And then, of course, a huge unit of Glade Riders with his Glade Lord. Towards the center is another Eagle with the guard behind them. Another unit of, his other unit of Glade Riders on the hill, right next to another unit of scouts. To their right is another unit of scouts. Behind the house, impassable terrain, is his other unit of sisters. Again, probably just fire off pillars with scouts next to them and a great eagle. It's a lot of elves on the table, so this should be an interesting fight. We go to turn 1, and I got to go first, so I fire across the board, because the best thing to do with Wood Elves is to try to put them on the back foot. Give them as little room to maneuver as possible. With the exception of the left flank there, I do not want to get charged by his Glade Lord and the Glade Riders. He's just going to challenge and then pulverize whatever unit champion gets over there, because no. So on the left side there, I kind of do a pocket so that he can't charge anything. He doesn't have the range, but I do move up a little bit because I'm trying to take as much of his movement away as I can without getting stupid charged. Now, if I can get my Chaos Spawn to randomly charge into him, that would be cool, but we'll see. More towards the center, the dogs don't really move up a whole lot, but the rest, the chariot moves up, the dragon ogres fly up, my sorcerer with the infernal puppet moves up just a little bit. I want to fire off my magic missiles if I can, but honestly, with only 7 inches of movement, there's only so many things that are going to be in range. And on the right side there, the Chaos Lord fires forward, daring anything to charge him. And the Chaos Spawn moves up as far as he can because, 3d6. That's it for movement. In the magic phase, shooting phase, whatever have you, Lord Tremendous fires off I want to say the summoning into the scouts on the hill. He can't stop it because he's out of range. It goes off, and I murder all 5 of them. The elves aren't thrilled about it, but they all make their leadership, so still, feels good. Feels good. I don't believe I get Blue Flame off, but I did get my Ruby Ring of Ruin off on the other unit of scouts here, killing 3 of them. They already took a panic check, so they're totally fine. With no combat, we go over here to bottom of 1, and he, of course, does Wood Elf stuff and moves. His Great Eagle flies up and taunts my Chaos Spawn on my left flank there, which I'm going to take the bait. If he flees, great. If not, well, he can't flee, so, I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe he can overrun into the Glade Riders and do some damage. He is an impact hit guy, so that might be a lot of fun. The rest of the stuff on the left flank just kind of piles around to take pot shots at him and stuff like that. Makes sense. The other Great Eagle over here in the center kind of moves forward to bait a little bit. I think draw the charges, which is totally fine. In the center, his Glade Riders and Glade Guard move just a little bit to get into different shooting patterns. Actually, I think the Guards stay still. The Riders are the ones that move, hence the 23-inch tape measure right there. In the center, the 2 remaining scouts move around just a little bit to fire at, I think, one of the Dragon Ogres. The Sisters move to get in a better position. The Eagle moves around to bait whatever is going to come after them. And really, that's it for movement. In the shooting phase, the Sisters get the Pillar of Flame off, and then the 2 remaining scouts can see the large target spawn, fire at them, and actually gets a wound through on them. So, nice shooting. believe his Spell Weaver gets Tree Singing off, and then the Glade Riders that can see shoot at the Dragon Ogre on the left. And again, they're able to slip a wound through. So, what else shooting, right? It can't be beat. Continuing the nickels and dimes, since he's a large target, all the Glade Riders fire at him and are able to slip a wound through, which honestly, all things considered, with poison attacks, that's pretty good. I should have 3 wounds on me. Knowing this, the rest of his archers fire off at him and slip another wound through. And then his final unit of scouts fire at me and get 2 more wounds through. So that makes more sense. That's about right. The fact that he has 4 is 1 more than I was expecting, but he's not dead, and that leaves me to do something with him. With no combat, that brings us over here to top of turn 2, and yeah, I do my thing. The Pillar Flame does bounce through my knights and does some damage, or it does some wounds, but I'm able to save, so that was really good. My knights in the center charged his eagle, which fled. We almost caught him. The knights on the left side there, they did charge a unit in the woods, but because of the woods, -1 movement and taking the lower of the 2, they didn't make it. Even with the rampaging banner, I couldn't make it. I missed it by quite a lot, so that's where they end up. They do take some dangerous terrain, but they're totally fine. As you can see on the left side, the giant spawn did slam into the eagle, who could do nothing but take it. In the center, everybody moves up to start really causing some damage. My general charges his scouts. They fled. He doesn't catch them, but he moves forward. The spawn on the right flank moves up, almost gets a hold of the eagle, and he did take another wound from when the Pillar of Flame bounced through him. That, I believe, is it for my movement. Oh yeah, the Dragon Ogres in the center move forward to really put some pressure on the guys on the side. They want to eat some Glade Riders. Now, that's it for movement. Nothing happens in shooting. I'm not really in range for anything, so I should have marched. I didn't. It was stupid. So we go into combat, and Big Gribbly here destroys the, what it's called, the Great Eagle that he's in combat with. Eager to continue with his murdering, he overruns and slams into the scouts. Oh yeah, this is going to feel good. Over here, I flub pretty spectacularly. I only do a wound to him, but I have wound and close order to nothing because he's not able to do anything to me. I only win by 2, and his general's right behind him. But he breaks. He breaks and he flees. And he flees really, really far. He actually gets away, bounces through a bunch of stuff. Doesn't cause panic because he's only strength 3, but yeah, he gets away. And my overrun is tremendous. Yeah, I did it. And I actually slam into the Glade Lord and the Glade Riders. Probably not the ideal place for something with only 4 wounds left to be in, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. He was going to die anyway. Might as well die a hero. That brings us over here to bottom of 2, and there's a little bit of movement from the Wood Elves, but not as much because I kind of got them crunched in a little bit. On the left flank there, as you can see, a lot of stuff just kind of spins around. His sisters get into place in order to try to hurt the Chaos Spawn and stuff like that. The, what's it called? Pillars of Flame demolish my knights. Take 3 of them out, just no problem. Oh, they just did not button up their armor at all this morning. The rest of the stuff in the center just kind of pull back. As you can see, we got a traffic jam going on, which is more or less what I was hoping for. His eagle that fled, I believe, rallied. I'm like 20% sure about that, but it looks like he's facing the right direction. So we're going to say that he rallied. And everything else just kind of moves around to get into better positions to shoot and or scream for their life. In the center, the scouts continue to get behind the hill, trying to stay away from the Dragon Ogres. The sisters move up to think they're going to do something with my Chaos Lord breathing down their neck. And that's really it for movement. In the beginning of his shooting phase, I don't remember what he's trying to cast with his sorcerer, but it miscasts, and he miscasts 2. Big old girthy template lands right on top of her like that, giving me a full and a partial on the scouts. I think those are scouts. And then a full and 2 partials on the Glade Riders. Ends up doing 2 wounds to the scouts and a wound to the Glade Riders, as well as a wound to the caster. So, very effective spell for me, not so much for him. So, yay and boo, or boo and yay, however you want to see it. We go into shooting, and I don't remember what exactly shoots at me, but it hits my knights and kills one, which is sad. And then his Glade Riders, I believe, do the same thing, killing another one. Then I think his caster shoots something at him or fires off a spell that gets off. I can't remember. But yeah, another knight dies. Ah, come on, guys. You have 3-up armor. Act like it. And then he casts Tree Singing, putting a big old forest right in the middle of me and them, which is rude. We go into combat, and yeah, I just get pulverized by his Glade Lord, which is sad. I believe the impact hits did kill one of the Glade Riders, which is nice, but yeah, his Glade Lord himself just destroyed that poor spawn. He did good. I'm proud of him. He's able to restrain, and he turns the face as so. In combat over here, the spawn is able to obliterate the scouts that he was in combat with. Probably sensed that his brother died. And not that there was really any camaraderie between them, but you know what? Still, he has to avenge his brother, so taking it out on those elves felt right. Felt like justice. I'm able to restrain, and I turn to face the sisters because there's more meat that needs hacking. With combat concluded, we go to top of turn 3, and there's going to be more combat. My knights, they're frenzied still. They have to charge. They go through the Pillar of Flame, or the Pillar of Flame goes through them, kills another one of them. They charge. They Glade Rider stand and shoot. We actually weather that and make it through even in the woods. It's not a great idea, but they're frenzied. What else can I do? I move my level 2 over in order to do some infernal puppeting to his level 4. Everything moves over in the center. My knights charge the eagle because they have to. There is a chance they'll run over into the Glade Guard. We'll see what happens there. The Dragon Ogre that's wounded moves forward to, again, just keep pushing them into the corner. The the Chaos Lord and the Spawn both charge into the sisters. The Spawn obviously random moving into them. And they make it no problem, while the other Dragon Ogre hits the 2 remaining scouts and is going to pulverize them like their cousins. The dogs in the middle, I decide I'm going to try to save their points, and I just have them fall back. They're going to go hide out in the corner because there's really nothing for them to do, and that's it for movement. I do believe I marched with my casters, so I couldn't do any combat or any shooting. Not that there was really anything for me to shoot at. So we go directly into combat, and my Spawn and Chaos Lord pulverize that unit of sisters. However, they are making a lot of their saves, and they're able to put 2 wounds onto my Spawn before they're obliterated. So they died, but we knew they were there due to the horrible, horrible wounds the Chaos Spawn is now carrying around. They're both able to restrain, and they just turn to face the left flank there. Now, I know it's stupid. They're like, why did you send both in? I wasn't positive that the Spawn was going to make it in, and I didn't want the sisters to get away. Also, it dispels their Pillar of Flame. So, sending both in, while it does slow down my Chaos Lord to go and get into the bulk of the fight, it was better, in my opinion, to get a hold of him now than have to turn around and track after him later. So, that's why this went down the way it did. In the combat with the Dragon Ogre, of course, the little scouts weren't able to damage his thick hide, and he pulverizes them with that massive hammer. The Dragon Ogre is able to restrain and then turn towards the left flank. I forgot to take a picture. And then we go over to combat with the Knights, who destroy the Eagle without any issue. These Knights are still frenzied, so they have to overrun, and they end up right where you're looking. And yes, I do try to test to reform to look, because I know you're able to do that, and I fail my leadership check. So something over there really caught their attention. In combat over here, my Knights do surprisingly well. I'm able to kill a couple of his Glade Riders. He's able to kill off my champion. In the end, I think he has 3, and I have 2. And I actually make my break check. I give ground 2 inches, and he restrains, and he just kind of turns the face, as you see here. That takes us to the bottom of turn 3. Here it is after movement. And yeah, his Glade Lord pops out on the left flank there. As you can see, his scouts and his sisters and everything like that, they kind of surround, and the Glade Riders, they all surround my lone knight. That's how he's going to try to take him out, which is smart. His Glade Lord breaks away and moves around a little bit in order to try to get into this fight and threaten me. The problem with that is both of my casters look over and see him pop out of the woods a little bit and go, seriously? We've been waiting for this all game. So I've got like 4 or 5 magic missiles with his name on it. And if I can stay away from his sorcerer, which I think I can, his Glade Lord is going to get fricasseed in the worst possible way. And in fact, he kind of works that direction with me. As you can see, his unit with the Glade Riders and his level 4 back up a little bit. So it's going to be easy for me to stay within 18 of his Glade Lord and outside of 24 of his level 4. If I can drop that stupid forest, he won't have 27-inch range. I get what he was trying to do, but it's like, I think maybe I got this. But anyway, it's his turn, so that's where everything ends up. In the shooting phase, his Glade Riders with his casters shoot a bunch of stuff at my knights who are just watching the sunset. They're just sitting there broing and broetting out. I don't know. Whatever the hell it is they're looking at over there. And they just drop the musician for no reason other than they're just cruel, cruel elves. And then the scouts in the back there, they can see, the ones that can't see shoot at them, and they're able to drop the banner. It went from a bro moment to a what the fuck moment real quick. And then over here, the honorless Wood Elves murder the innocent, never hurt anybody Chaos Knight who was just traipsing around in the woods, minding his own business. Even the Glade Lord left him alone, knowing that he wasn't trying to hurt anything. But no, the filthy Glade Guard with their little spell singer murder the poor guy in cold blood. And people say elves are the good guys. What's wrong with you? There's no combat, but we go to top of turn 4, and yeah, Operation Drop the Glade Lord takes effect. We all position in the Arc of Doom, with the exception of dogs who are just trying to save their points, but everybody moves over as far as they can. I get Fleshy Abundance off on my Sorcerer just in case I want to charge. Everyone's within 18, outside of 24, and I'm able to drop the Tree Singing. So yeah, this Glade Lord's about to get real warm real quick. That's it for movement. We go into the magic shooting phase, whatever you want to call it, and the Puppet Master fires off his blue flame at the Glade Lord and takes half of his life away in one shot. It was a beautiful shot. Then Sorcerer Lord Tremendous sticks his head out the window of his chariot cab car and fires off his own blue flame into the Glade Lord, murking him and removing him from the table, because that's how he do. So I don't believe the summoning was in range, but his Ruby Ring-a-Roon with Fireball certainly was, and he fires at the Glade Riders that were protecting the Glade Lord and drops all but 3 of them with it. So yeah, Sorcerer Lord Tremendous is on a friggin' rampage. That takes us over to bottom of turn 4, because it's hard to get him into combat this late in the game. And he moves back a little bit further to the right. The pillars move around a little bit, don't really affect anything. And that's really it for movement. He's just getting in a position to shoot me up. And that's what these heartless Glade Riders do. They murk the knight. I know he still looks like he's alive there. It's just like an after image. They're able to shoot and kill him. You know, the one he had to watch his musician and banner buddy get murdered while they watched the sunset together? Well, the same unit just murdered him. So at least they're all together in the warp now where they can be happy. That takes us to the top of turn 5, and everything of mine advances forward. The little baby mage stays right where he's at, because honestly, I'm afraid to lose him. If he gets too close to the sisters and they charge him, he's going to get eviscerated. If that pillar of flame bounces through him, he's going to get eviscerated. As it is, that one did bounce through some stuff but wasn't able to wound anything. It's just not a safe place for him to be right now. And unfortunately, the spawn in the center there now, like whatever the sisters did to him really slowed him down. I don't know where they stuck their spears, but he is definitely not moving all that fast. I think he moved 5 inches this turn. But yeah, that's where everything is. That's it for movement. Sorcerer Lord Tremendous empties everything he can into his level 4 with the Glade Riders, and after all the smoke clears, there is 1 Glade Rider left, and unfortunately was able to put any wounds on the Spellweaver yet. I still have another turn to try. That's it for shooting. We go into combat, and obviously there isn't any, so here's bottom of 5 after movement. He moves everything to the far left side there, just trying to stay out of my charge ranges. He does get a Tree Singing off, and that brings up his trees right in front of my Chaos Lord. That's fine. My Chaos Lord does have a charge on the sisters. It's not an easy one going through the woods and everything like that, but he does have that charge, maybe. His Pillar of Flame did go through a bunch of my stuff, including the Dragon Ogres. I think it was just the Dragon Ogres, but they're like the worst models for that thing to go through. Didn't do any wounds. The other one just kind of encroaches, but doesn't do anything, and that's it. In the shooting phase, nothing happens. So we go to top of turn 6. My Chaos Lord does charge his sisters, who flee intelligently. The rest of my stuff just kind of moves around. There's nowhere for it to go, nothing for it to do. I do get popped by a couple of the, Pillars of Flame. I think 1 Dragon Ogre takes a wound, and that's it. My Sorcerer in the Chariot moves up just as much as they can in order to try to get some spells off. My level 2 stays right where he's at. The spawn is just thrilled to be a part of it, and the dogs stay right where they're at. That's it for movement. In the shooting phase, Sorcerer Lord Tremendous fires off at a unit of scouts and pulverizes them, killing 5 more. The ones around him passed their panic check, though, so that wasn't nearly as much fun as it could have been. And then the puppet master over here goes crazy. He gets his blue flame off and does 8 wounds to this unit and to the sisters that were fleeing, and they fail all their ward saves. The entire unit just evaporates to blue flame. Puppet master ain't bad. With that, we go to bottom of 6, but he moves around a little bit and nothing happens in his shooting phase. He doesn't really want to risk magic for fear of miscasting or something like that. So the pillars go through. I think they do a wound to my spawn, and that's really about it. I think it bounces, or the other one bounces through Sorcerer Lord, but fails to wound because he's toughness 6 right now. So yeah, there it is. There's the end of the game. It is a victory for Lord Tremendous. I got something along the lines of 1,250 out of him. He got 663 out of me. It was a really, really good game, though. He had some unfortunate die rolls, and I had some really, really good ones. Puppet Master is a great example of that. But yeah, a lot of fun, and a really, really good guy. A lot of fun to play against, and a lot of fun to talk to. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the recap.
So yeah, that went really, really well. My knights got the crap beat out of them, but honestly, they took a hell of a lot of punishment. That was really the only way it was going to end. My magic was excellent for me this game. Slinging those magic missiles was crazy. And even the Chaos Lord, like, I liked his versatility. I liked the 360 charge arc. He's pretty good. I think I'm going to dial in his kit a little bit different, but I like the direction that he's going. I like having him. He's not perfect, but I think we can get there. Dual gigantic spawns are amazing. Like, I just really like having the powerhouses on all sides of a map like that. And like I said, slinging magic missiles is super effective. Puppet Master obliterating the Sisters of the Thorn in one volley. I know that was unlikely to happen and the stars had to align, but when it happens, it feels so right. Harvesting Elves is always a great time, though. It's one of my favorite things to do in this game, and I really had a wonderful opponent. I hope I get to rematch against him one day, and if you get the opportunity to play against 100% Warhammer, definitely take it. It's a lot of fun. All right, and now to see how many corpses I throw on the pile for the dark gods who we worship. In characters, I was able to get another Glade Lord, felt pretty good, brings the total up to 5. I didn't get any new Forest Dragons or Spell Weavers, but I did get the Singer. The Weaver survived. The Singer did not, and so she gets tossed into the pile, bringing my total up to 3. There were no Shadow Dancers, so in core, I was able to get 20 more Deepwood Scouts, taking my total to 49. I got 6 more Glade Guard for a total of 89, and 9 more Glade Riders for 52. These numbers are just getting bigger and bigger, and I'm loving it. In special, I tripled the amount of sisters I had, bringing my total to 15. And then no other special in there, I believe. So we go into rare, and I was able to slaughter the last 3 Great Eagles, bringing my total up to 5. So not bad. I do believe the Dark Lords will be pleased. Not to mention, the Tomb Kings, still a little sparse. I need to find more Tomb King opponents. The Chaos Dwarves and Orcs and Goblins are still respectable, but again, I could probably use some more corpses in each of these. And then the Demons and Unworthy Warriors of Chaos numbers don't change at all. And while I have a decent amount of Bretonnians, it's not quite enough for me to be happy. I expect I'm going to run into them again very soon. There it is. Another battle report is in the history books. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comments section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But as always, thanks!